to my channel. If you have not like and subscribe the channel, please like and subscribe the channel. This is the place where you can learn Microsoft Intune. In this video I am going to say you about the what you need to do for Graph API. If you are leveraging the Graph API for your any scripting or any tool in any applications, you now it's time to update, because the Microsoft has informing Microsoft is actually informing us to update the permissions for Graph API. So as you can see here on my screen, starting from July 31st, 2025, or soon after, these following Graph API will require either device management script read all or device management script read write all permissions to continue working. So if you are using any of these for cell script, health compliance script, or any of these, right, you have to update the permission. So how this will affect to your organizations? Previously these Graph API required granting either read write device management configuration read write all or device management configuration read write all permissions, right? So read write all or read all permissions. So if you have any enterprise application or script or any other tool like Power Automate or anywhere in you using in any of the applications, uh, or any other tool like ServiceNow for any other purpose where you are reading the configurations, so that has been granted these permissions, they will need to be updated in order to continue calling the listed Graph API. Okay, so ensure if any application script or tool that reference the listed Graph API include either device management script read all or device management script read write all permission, and remove the all old permissions like configuration and all device read permission. So to conclude this, if you are using these API permissions, device management configurations read write all or configurations read all in any of these application script or tool, then you need to update and add these permissions, device management script read and read write script read write all. So where you can find this, I have already mentioned or made video on this one. If you search on my channel the Graph API, you will find it, right? So from the time to time, actually I am how to use, you see how Microsoft is, how to use the Microsoft Graph REST API endpoint. If you open this, or if you open this video, you will, let me open it here. So if you open this video, you can, if you read this video MS138 how to use the Graph API endpoint using Graph Explorer, so you can see that there are many video or any of these video you can if you are using for automations, automate things for the Intune Graph Explorer, how to build the Power BI report using Intune Graph API for reporting. So if you open any of these, you will see how where actually we need to grant the permission. Let me show you quickly even. So you have to go to entra, right? So if you go to entra.microsoft.com, right? So log in with your credentials. Once you log in into the credential with your credential, and then go to the application. So here you have to register the application. I'm not gonna show you, but I'm just quickly show you. If you see all application here, it's a Graph Explorer, similar like you have to register. I've already shown everything in detail in this video 20 MS207 how to build the Power BI. You can check it. So once it open, you have to you have to give the permissions here. So if you see here, this is just application name. Similar, you can register your custom application here, and here if you go to the permissions, you can, I don't know why it's giving error. So if you go to the permission, and you have to, if you are using any of these permissions, you can add and remove it. Let me refresh the page quickly, right? So or if I can just quickly show you application, enterprise application, app registration, new registration. So I'm say you have to, you must be a intra admin. So I'm just giving graph API testing. I'm just giving any name, single tenant, right? I'm not selecting anything, I'm just registering the applications. So it's available now, graph API testing. And if you go to the API permissions here, and here I have just user read permission. So if you are using and I have not given, so what you have to do, you have to click on add permissions here, and then click on Microsoft Graph. And there is two type of permissions, right? So delegated permission and application permission. So delegated permission means your application need access to the API as the sign in user. If it's a application permission, your application run as a background services or daemon without as a, like if you are planning to use this API in some of the tool application automation, you should have the application permission. So I'm just selected application permission or delegated permission, whatever you want to do, right, based on your requirement. And you can search it. So if you search it here, you can see here, right? So it's already reflecting. I just search device management script read write all, you can see it here, right? So let's search the old one. So if you go to the Microsoft tenant, so and open this one, and if you using any of these like device configuration read write all or read all, right, just copy this one. So if you are using here, right, so what you have to do, you have to, if you are using, I'm just showing it here. So let me grant the permissions. If you are Intune admin, you will not be able to use it, you're not able to grant it, because this should be done by the intra admin, global admin. So you see, so if you have using this permission, device management read write or read, so what this one read, it will read and write Microsoft Intune device configuration and policy. So what you have to do, you have to click here and you have to remove this one, remove permission here, okay, and before, and then add the new permission. You can see I have just removed it here, right? And then you can add the new permissions. So add permission, graph API, application permission, and you can add this script permission based on the requirement. If you want to write or read, I'm just selecting read. Similarly, you can, if you search it here, and you can grant permissions, yes, okay, grant admin consent, yes. So you see it here. So this one you have to remove it, and this one you have to add it. So let me remove these permissions again, and now you have. So what you have to do, instead of this one, if you are using this graph API permission, you have to remove it from here. You can also revoke, and the admin consent as well, you can revoke the admin consent as well, and so that it will not show here. And now I have only device management script graph read all. Similar, like if you want to add the read write as well permissions, you can select it, search it here, select read write, okay. So I have both, just I'm granting the permissions here. So you see here I have added both the permissions, device management script, device management read and write. So just update these, so that if you are leveraging these API through by using the tenant ID and application ID, I already made video how you can use that in other automation tool or calling the Graph API or even in the Graph Explorer as well, right? So you just update it to make sure it will work. So how you can access the Graph Explorer, I already made video and you can see just a web URL. So make sure you're doing it from your end, and make sure your tenant must be updated with all the permissions so that it will not affect your organizations, right? For detailed instructions, of course, you can go for this link. It will be available in your in your tenant as well. You can go and read this article for thoroughly, right? So what are the prerequisites, how to do add the permission and everything. I just quickly shown you how you can create the applications, how what needs to be removed prior to July July 31st. Okay, otherwise it will stop working. And because if you are leveraging any of these enterprise applications script or any other tool that had been granted these permissions, they will need to be updated in order to continue calling the listed graph API. So make sure you must be changing and updating your graph API permission. Till then, thank you. Have a good day. Bye bye.